How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my Spright XYZ event deck profile. This event is going through till next week, so make sure you jump on, grab your gems, grab your dust. I showed a really cheap, easy to play Zodiac strategy yesterday, so check out that deck profile. Check out my socials as well. I'm going to be doing loads of more Master Duel content if you guys want to see really cookie cutter deck profiles that will give you the best opportunity to farm these events, farm ladder, just farm up those gems, and make sure you stock up for your chance to maybe push for a Challenger Cup format or push for a Worlds invite, just to stock up on all the gems for those sort of runs. And yeah, I think it's really important to take advantage of these events when they come out. And I'm going to give you the best sort of deck profiles to play for these events to make your experience a little bit more easier than you might find. So, Spright. So, if you're not familiar with the Spright strategy, it's just level 2 sort of deck that gives you loads of XYZs that are rank 2. It has really good Zeus lines. The Gigantic Sprite's a really good card just to get you into any sort of level 2 in your deck. And you can potentially search Maxi depending on the hand. I'll quickly do this disclaimer. If you see a Swap Frog, you can basically bounce the Maxi to your hand, and you're probably thinking, how do I summon that? Well, Gigantic can summon this from deck. So this deck can actually search Maxi, which is crazy. If you want to see some more content on me actually playing this deck on the ladder, let me know in the comments. I'll happily do a sort of combo guide or just me doing matchups in general. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys the deck profile. So as I said in my Zoo deck profile, I thought Vela was really good into a coverage of matchups across this event, because the main three are going to be Zodiac, Exorcist, Spright. Those are the three decks that you want to prepare for. But this deck has a really good matchup against most of those decks because it can put up negates, as well as have really good follow-up in the form of your Gigantic if you keep it on field. Also, it can OTK out of nowhere because we're playing Gamma Burst, and I really like this card in this format. It can just whack over fields, steal out games. I feel like in the Zodiac deck that I was playing, the deck profile that I showed yesterday, that deck takes a little bit longer to kill your opponent because you sort of take control with a field with Zeus. However, this deck can kill really quick. So we'll just get straight into it. So 3 Vela, 3 Swap Frog. I think it's really important. There's no Toad in the format, but I think it's just important just to have Ronin Toad in the grave for follow-up. I've seen some people play the Secret Gates Fiends level 2 extender for the Sacred Beasts. I can't remember what it's called. Level 2 extender. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. But I feel like Swap Frog was better because we still play Angler. Angler is just a good way to just spam out level 2s from the deck. There's no sprint, of course, but I felt like having Angler in hand or summon it off a Beaver just deck thins, and there's a potential to pitch 3, to pitch it off your Swap Frog. You could play 3 to potentially increase those odds, but 2 was fine for me. 3 Maxi is absolutely cracked. 2 Angler and 2 Beaver. So this is sort of the level 2 Beaver package that we play. 3 Blue, 3 Jet, 1 Pixies because it's very good to beat over certain boss monsters that you can't originally attack over. Just a disclaimer, the Spright card's actually really weak in terms of stats. So Pixies is quite relevant for me just to beat over certain things. There is an argument to play more of these, but I always feel like 1's enough. You can search it off blue. You can starter search it. You know, these cards are like free, so I'd rather play these cards at 1. 3 Ash, 3 Nib, really generic. Nibs are really crazy against Exorcister. Those decks are just not respecting that card whatsoever. So Nib on Exorcister feels so nice. Same with Regeki, beats the mirror, beats Zoo, and it beats Exorcister. So this card, I thought about playing Dark Hole in this deck, but because we sort of end our turn, or it's difficult for our opponent to break our board unless they have a board breaker. Typically, we don't want to wipe our own board. But with the Zoo deck, I thought Dark Hole was really good. 1 Duster just for back row hate. 2 Starter. 1 Gamma Burst just to beat over monsters. Smashes is really good. I would play Double Cross, which is the new trap from Darkwind Blast. But it's not in this format yet. Or it's not in Master Duel yet. So we obviously can't play that. 3 Imperm was like fine. This card's like really good just to trade value and keep it set anyway. Now for the extra deck, there aren't too many good level 2s in the format, so we have to play multiples. Unfortunately, Pot of Prosperity is not in the format either, so it sucks that we don't have that sort of engine. just to banish these redundant level 2s, but we'll go over the main ones. So the main ones for me are Zeus, Zeus, Gigantic, Downed. That's sort of your standard line to get your 4 material Zeus. Your Soul Sweeper, so this basically banishes a card your opponent controls until the end of their turn. So it's good to get rid of threats. I thought it was really good to just out big boss monsters, like a negated Zeus or a negated Dryden or something, or a big beefy XYZ that you can't potentially beat over. Mannequin Cat is a little bit weaker in this sort of format. There aren't too many good targets you can summon. You could probably think of some if you want to get creative, but we just use it for follow-up. And yeah, the card's like really, really busted like anyway, so it's no reason not to play 2. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what this card does. It's the Phantom Light level 2. It basically is an imperm and it turns the monster's attack to 0. That's not bad. It can come up. Cat Shark is another cool way to OTK. So basically it doubles like a Gigantic that's on 32. So yeah, another way to OTK your opponent. Now Sky Cavalry, I think this card's really good just to in a grind game to bounce cards, and it can't be destroyed. It can do loads of cool stuff. So I actually think 2 can come up now and then. 2 definitely doesn't come up for this guy. So we don't play the Sacred Beast sort of line. So we barely make this guy. There is an end board where you can end on this guy, plus a Gigantic, plus a Mannequin Cat with a Smasher set. That's like a really good board. Not into Dark Hole or Regeki, but it's a decent board in general against like a coverage of matchups. So yeah, we don't really make 2 of this guy though, however. And then for the Dark Mist, again, I have no idea what this card does. Once per battle, when his card attacks, half the attack. Okay, so that's like mid, but it's in there because there aren't too many good rank 2s. However, the engine is really strong. The utility we have with the negates is like really strong. Pixies is like decent to get over stuff. Smashes is a very strong card in general. I think the Spright deck is well placed in between Exorcister and Zoo. I do think Exorcister is the best deck in this format, but Spright, if you want to get used to the cards, it's a really friendly environment just to farm up some free gems, learn the deck, and yes, put yourself in a really good position to get some gems for the rest of the format. So let me know what you guys think. If you want to play Spright, if you want to play Zoo, Exorcister.